Have you heard about the recent bird flu outbreak? It's a situation that's rapidly changing, emerging as a cause of concern across the United States. Bird flu, also known as avian influenza, is a viral infection that primarily spreads through contact with infected birds. Humans can contract the virus, leading to respiratory and gastrointestinal issues. The current outbreak has its roots in multiple states, spreading its wings from Texas to Kansas, reaching as far as Michigan, New Mexico, and Idaho. Each of these areas has reported cases, painting a picture of an issue that's becoming increasingly widespread. Despite this, it's important to note that the risk to public health is presently low, with no person-to-person transmission reported so far. However, this doesn't mean we can rest easy. It's an evolving situation, and it's crucial we stay informed. So, how does this virus spread, you might be wondering? Well, let's delve into the nitty-gritty details. The bird flu virus primarily spreads through contact with infected birds. This means that humans can contract the virus if they come into direct contact with an infected bird or indirectly through a contaminated environment. Now, when we speak about contact, we're not just talking about touching the birds. It could be something as simple as breathing in the dust from dried droppings of infected birds or handling their feathers. It could also happen through contact with surfaces that have been contaminated by the virus, such as cages or bird feeders. Once the virus makes its way into the human system, it manifests in the form of various symptoms. These can include respiratory issues like coughing, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Gastrointestinal issues might also crop up, leading to nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. In severe cases, the infection can even cause pneumonia, acute respiratory distress syndrome, and other serious complications. Now, you might be asking, can it spread from person to person? Well, the good news is, as of now, there is no person-to-person transmission reported. This means that if a person contracts the bird flu, they cannot pass it on to another person. This is a silver lining in an otherwise grim situation. However, this doesn't mean we can let our guard down. While the risk to public health is currently low, we should still exercise caution. Avoid close contact with birds, especially those who appear sick or have died recently. If you're handling birds, make sure to wash your hands thoroughly and clean any surfaces that the birds might have been in contact with. In conclusion, the bird flu virus primarily spreads through contact with infected birds and can cause a range of symptoms in humans. However, there has been no person-to-person transmission reported. The risk to public health is currently low, but caution is still necessary. What measures are being taken to prevent the spread of the virus, you might ask? Well, let's delve into that right now. When it comes to the food industry, particularly with eggs and poultry, stringent measures are in place. It starts from the farm, where monitoring and containment of infected birds are enforced. Biosecurity protocols are tightened, and all birds within a certain radius of an infected farm are tested. Infected birds are humanely culled, and their remains are disposed of safely to prevent the virus from spreading. Beyond the farm, processing plants are also part of the prevention strategy. They're required to adhere to strict hygiene and sanitation standards. This includes regular disinfection of equipment, rigorous testing of products, and proper handling of raw materials. It's all about breaking the chain of transmission from farm to fork. But what about us? What can we, as individuals, do to protect ourselves? Firstly, it's crucial to practice good personal hygiene. Regular hand washing, especially before and after handling food, is a must. It's also a good idea to avoid touching our faces, especially our eyes, nose, and mouth, as these are common entry points for viruses. Next, we need to be cautious about our interactions with birds. Avoiding contact with wild or farm birds, particularly those appearing sick or found dead, is a good practice. If you must handle birds, wear protective gear such as gloves and masks and wash your hands thoroughly afterwards. Lastly, cook poultry and eggs thoroughly before eating. Proper cooking kills the virus, making the food safe to eat. Remember, prevention is a collective effort. While the authorities are doing their part in containing the outbreak, we also have a role to play in protecting ourselves and our communities. So let's stay vigilant, practice good hygiene, and be mindful of our interactions with birds. While the authorities are doing their part, it's important that we do ours too. Let's all do our part to keep this situation from escalating further. What could be the potential impact of this outbreak? This question looms large as we grapple with the unfolding bird flu situation. One of the key areas of concern is, of course, public health. While the risk to humans is currently low, we can't afford to be complacent. Respiratory and gastrointestinal issues could become a widespread concern if the virus were to mutate and start transmitting from person to person. The poultry industry is another sector that's caught in the crosshairs of this outbreak. Texas, Kansas, Michigan, New Mexico, and Idaho, where cases have been reported, are major players in the poultry market. The outbreak could lead to devastating losses for farmers and potentially disrupt our food supply chain, affecting the availability and prices of poultry products. This brings us to the wider economic impact. A disruption in the poultry industry could ripple out, affecting related sectors and the economy as a whole. On a personal level, it could mean higher grocery bills and limited choices for consumers. On a larger scale, it could mean job losses and a dip in the GDP. But it's not all doom and gloom. We have the knowledge and the means to mitigate these potential impacts. By monitoring the situation closely and taking the necessary precautions, we can curb the spread of bird flu. We can protect our health, safeguard our poultry industry, and prevent a blow to our economy. It's a situation we must keep an eye on for our health and our economy. We've delved into the unfolding situation of the bird flu outbreak, spanning across several states. Explored how this virus spreads, primarily through contact with infected birds and the symptoms it can cause, including respiratory and gastrointestinal issues. Highlighted the preventative measures being taken, especially in food industries, and the potential impact this could have on the public health. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, knowledge is the first step to prevention. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.